We're rolling here, Chris.
Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda. Today we have Danica Bryant with us, all the way from Wellington. Welcome to Auckland.
Thank you. Hi.
Thanks for coming up. How was the trip?
It was a plane, so it wasn't fun.
Yeah, the same here. I'm not too fond of, especially flying in back into Wellington.
No,
Airport.
it's always very turbulent. So
Yes. Anyway, but you made it, so that's good. You're going to play a couple of songs for us. You have an EP coming out, all sorts of things happening. And what are you going to do while you're here in Auckland? Anything exciting?
I'm playing a Breaking Sound showcase at Cassette 9 tomorrow night, which is super cool.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of other artists involved, and my first show in Auckland actually, so that's really exciting.
Ooh, that's very good. Alrighty. All right, so we'll get right to the new song, which is Tunnel of Love, and it's being released probably while people are watching this, so that'll be exciting. So, and it's part of an EP that's coming out later on, but we'll get to that in a minute. So Tunnel of Love, what can you tell me about the song itself?
So the song was the first one that I pretty much took to my producer, like fully formed, and kind of the only song in the collection that is majority mine, like my work that I took to him. I wrote it in like 15 minutes, which is crazy for me. I usually spend hours and hours or years and years even on a song, but I just sat down one day with my guitar and I wanted to write something driven by a bit of a more reggae-oriented strum, and I just started writing this kind of fictional story about the very edge of a breakup where you think something is about to end and you can feel that it's going to come to this terrible conclusion, but you're not quite there yet, and that's almost worse than the actual feeling.
Yep.
And it was also very, very inspired by circus and carnival imagery, because this is kind of random, but I'm a huge comic book fan, and so I'm really into the character Harley Quinn from Batman, and obviously she's like the Joker's girlfriend in a lot of storylines. And so her whole aesthetic of like circuses and bright colors and crazy lights has always been really interesting to me, so I wanted to lyrically kind of dive into that style.
And now we're going to hear like an acoustic version here, but on this EP it's a slightly different, more produced thing. So tell me what you're kind of shooting for when you're actually recording in the studio. Sure.
So when I go to the studio, I kind of try to fill out the sound and make it very pop rock, which is something that I can't do when I'm performing solo. But my producer, Johnny Avery, and I always go for a very full-blown sound. And on Tunnel of Love specifically, we were trying to go for Gin Wigmore meets the Black Keys type vibe, so really like alternative pop rock sort of thing.
Gin Wigmore meets the Black Keys.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear that, actually. We will hear. We'll listen to the EP when it comes out. But in the meantime, let's check out this acoustic version of Tunnel of Love.
Harlequins have gone to bed, the lights are getting dim. The carousel is slowing down, the Ferris wheel won't spin. The cowboy hats and costume parties don't feel like so much fun. Glasses hue turns pink to blue, I see that this is done. I want to live forever in your heart like we said. But at the end of every happy life, somebody drops dead. I'm trapped in the tunnel of love. It might not be so bad if I could find myself in anything but memories we had. And now I'm locked in the tunnel of love, just waiting to jump ship. But no sailor wants to accept that the end is part of the trip. Well, I love you, I'd love to see you on chapel stairs, but we're both in denial, thinking war was ever fair. All the sequins and the sideshows, just distractions from the facts. We've been going through the motions, now we're both caught in the act. I want to live forever in your heart like we said. Ooh, but at the end of every happy life, somebody drops dead. I'm trapped in the tunnel of love. It might not be so bad if I could find myself in anything but memories we had. And now I'm locked in the tunnel of love, just waiting to jump part of the trip. No, no. I'm locked in the tunnel of love. 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 I'm locked in the tunnel of
All right, we're back here with Danica Bryant. We just heard her brand new song, Tunnel of Love. Now, you've got this EP coming out, which is called Ego Death. Where is that coming from?
The whole thing was driven by, I signed up for the New Zealand On Air Artist Development Producer Scheme with my producer Johnny Avery, and that's when they fund artists to create 3 demos and just kind of develop their sound in a studio environment, which is really hard for a lot of young artists. You don't know how to step out of just playing on your own into a studio space and fully make that sound come alive. And so Johnny and I applied, and we got it first try, thankfully, and under that funding he very kindly helped me make all of the songs on the EP, so it's just a whole collaboration between him and I, which is...
So tell me a little bit about him. Who is he?
So yeah, Johnny is a really good friend. He is just a producer based in Wellington with me, and he is also from Hawke's Bay, where I'm originally from, so we just met at a horse racing event of all things, and yeah, just hit it off, and he suggested that we work in the studio together, which usually I'm very awkward and scared around strangers, so I would be inclined to say no, but I just took a chance and said, sure, I'll work with this random guy I've never met, and it worked fantastically. So
yay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So there's 6 songs on the EP?
Yes.
So we've just heard one. We're gonna hear another one. What are the other 4?
Oh, I'm not going to reveal the names of any of them.
Okay.
But the first and final track are kind of answers to each other in my mind, and they really set up the core themes of the EP, which primarily around identity and relating to others and how others people's perception of you affect yourself. Kind of just a deep dive into my mind and the concept of ego, and yeah, the goal for the EP, the reason that it's named Ego Death is because I want it to be hearing all about my ego, trying to kill that off and realize you shouldn't have such a thing. If you can get rid of it, you're a genius, basically.
Although there's an Australian band from the 70s, Skyhooks, had a great song called Ego Is Not a Dirty Word.
Oh.
So check that out.
We might be in a bit of a debate with them then. But,
yes.
And the other 2 songs, one of my personal favorites is a super experimental ballad, very inspired by Radiohead and FKA Twigs, people like that.
Right.
And it's about body possession, of all things. So that's my favorite. And then the last song, the last song is just a summer song.
Cool.
Really chill, really fun, super upbeat. So a vast array of ideas.
And so the EP is coming out August 19th?
Yes.
And there is a tour to follow? So where are you going to be playing? And what kind of live thing? Is it going to be like this, or are you with a band, or how are you playing?
Quite different, actually. So I'm taking my band on the road. So myself, my bassist, and my drummer, and we're going to 6 different cities. So that's Wellington, Palmy, Napier, Auckland, Hamilton, and Christchurch.
Right.
And it's just going to be a really rowdy, fun time, because my goal has always been, I want to surprise people with how out there and intense just an acoustic guitar performance can be. And this time I'm taking my band with me, but still kind of that same concept.
Right.
So very upbeat, very fun, kind of a party vibe, but really emotional lyrics and weird stuff going on. So I think it'll be really, really cool.
Cool. So now we're going to hear Crush, which has already been released a couple of weeks ago. Anything you need to say about it before we hear you sing it?
This song is about how I hate sexism in the music industry.
Okay,
Not much more to
I'm sure there's
say.
plenty of that. Man, I assume you've run into it a bit?
Yes, excessively, especially
Really?
I grew up in the all ages music scene and have been performing like since I was about 12, and there was a lot of like unwanted advances during literally being a child. There was a lot of just general misconduct, or like men treating me and other women around me as if because they were women they couldn't possibly know anything about music, and they must just be terrible at their jobs. So I just got sick of it, and I sat down after one particular incident and just said, I need to write about this, otherwise I'm not going to be able to take it anymore. So that's what Crush is.
Alrighty. Well, I'll try not to mansplain anything to you. And I'm looking forward to, check this out. And the EP, the tour, it's all happening, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks for coming up.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure enough.
Rolling your hips like you roll the papers. Try all your tricks, you're an entertainer. All the feelings I feel for you, mortification and nausea. Oh, I can tell you now there won't be a later. Ego death hits where it hurts. A kiss goodbye into the dirt. Don't come to me chasing that rush. You're the type of man I'd only like to crush underfoot, stomping at the silence right away you stood. Little bit of violence never felt so good, so don't call it love. You're the type of man I'd only like to crush. La 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 la, like to crush. La la la, like to crush. Don't come to me chasing that rush. You're the type of man I'd only like to crush. You're not everybody's bottle of liquor. Every taste only makes me sicker. Got sunglasses on indoors. You're so convinced the world is yours. Oh, but we only collapse so it's over quicker. Ego death hits where it hurts. A kiss goodbye into the dirt. Don't come to me chasing that rush. You're the type of man I'd only like to crush underfoot, stomping at the silence right away you stood. Little bit of violence never felt so good, so don't call it love. You're the type of man I'd only like to crush. La la la, like to crush. La 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 la, like to crush. Don't come to me chasing that rush. You're the type of man I'd only like to crush. With all that nicotine and need for attention, I can't say you set the best impression.